Hi friends, I just wanted to set the stage for the video that you're about to see from our Honduras ministry trip in 2024. Several of our team were sent from Compassion International to Honduras, and we were sent to visit this guy. And yes, that beautiful smile is his natural facial expression. You would never meet a more joyful person in your entire life. But that's what the primary purpose of the trip was. This teammate of ours, most of us had never met before in person. And I just want to give a shout out and props to my boss, who you'll see in the video, and all of our leadership, all the way up through our CEO, for understanding the value of team. Since this trip and the time that we spent team building, relationship building, and just spending quality time together has had such a huge impact on our performance, our relationships, the joy that we do our work with, and the efficiencies. It was just such an amazing time. And so for all intents and purposes, this was a business trip, not a paid vacation. And yes, we did some work while we were there as well. But I also recognized that while seeing our Honduras office and our server room and the work that we do on a day-to-day basis might be interesting to some of you, that you probably want to see the kids. And so that's what we're going to do in this video, is focus on the children. And we couldn't go to Honduras. The ministry just wouldn't let us go there without getting to visit the kids and ministering to them. And you were a big part of that. So stick around after the video. I do have a few more things that I want to share with you to wrap it up. I hope you enjoy. I did want to tell you about our day today. So the national office staff here, they wanted us to experience two different types of program facilities, and one that's more urban and one that's more rural. And today we went to the one that's more urban, which is actually about 2.5 hours away from here in another town. And so we left early and we pulled up to this place, and there's kids and adults standing around outside waiting to greet us. It was so sweet. We get out of the van and we start to walk into this church, and they have these little snipers waiting for us with these things that you make a like loud pop, like gunshot loud pop, and shoot massive amounts of confetti and like glitter and stuff at you. And so after my heart attack, I thought that was incredibly sweet. And I was not expecting it. And then so we go into this church, and it was just amazing what they put together. They had their worship team there. We had praise and worship. We had a devotional on being thankful and grateful from one of their pastoral staff. And then this little girl got up and sang, and it was amazing. And so it was just so cool. It was so cool. And we have a translator with us, and there's, parts of it where she's, I'm just kind of just sitting right next to her, and she's sharing some of the things that are being said in English with me and things, but didn't really need it because it was just so cool. It was just so neat. So after that, what do we do next? Oh, after that, we hung up the piñata that we had stuffed with candy yesterday, and I was manning it and trying to make it hard for me, pulling it up and down and stuff, and so the kids got to do that and bust that open and grab all the candy. Then we had we packed these little gift bags like you would do at a birthday party with cookies and more candy and different treats. So we passed those out, and then it was lunchtime for the kids, and so we got to serve the kids, and they had fried chicken and plantain chips, and it looked like, I think it was like coleslaw, and so they all sat down, and we got to bring their plates to them, and then I took advantage of the downtime because I knew we were going to be playing soccer, so I took advantage of that time to start scouting my team, because I'm just a little competitive, and I started with I identified the two big men on campus. I could kind of tell they were a little older, cooler kids, and so the translator helped me. She thought it was pretty funny what I was pulling, but found out that one of the two of them was hands down, everybody agreed, the best soccer player in the whole program. He even plays league ball, so he had practice this evening after we left, and so he and I told him, I said, we got to beat these old guys over there, which is basically the rest of my team, and I think I'm probably the oldest one on the team, but we rounded up our select group of players, and while we were over lunch break, and so kind of stacked the deck a little bit there for later on. But before we got to go play soccer, we had computer class, and it was really cool because these two young men that I was talking to actually taught the class, and we have this computer lab. It's like 5 or 6 laptops, I don't remember exactly how many, and so the younger kids gather around at a laptop, and then we got to participate with them. We were going to help them with the lesson, and so the young men were teaching these kids how to use Microsoft Word and to format and write a letter and things like that, and so it was really quite cool. And so I had this group with these 2 little boys and this little girl, and she was hysterical because like one of the little boys he was like messing with stuff he wanted to type, and she just like slap his hand away and stuff. But I taught her some keyboard shortcuts because eventually the teacher, one of the teachers from the program came up and said, okay, we need to kind of wrap it up, and so there'll be a prize for the team that finishes their letter first, and then competitiveness kicks in again. And so with the help of the keyboard shortcuts and the fact that she was a pretty good typist, we won a sucker, so that was nice. But what they were the letter that they were actually typing, this kills me. I've saved their original handwritten letters. Each child had written a kind of brief handwritten letter being grateful for us and the things that we do and for being there and all these things, and so the kids at each of the stations were putting their letters together and typing them up and to give to us and stuff, and so it was just it was super sweet. Yeah, I got emotional then too. Yeah, it was fun though, and it was we were joking and laughing and playing, and afterwards we all kind of got around in a circle, and some of the I think the principal said something, and some of the kids said a few words. I said a few words, of course got choked up and had to walk away. So I'm a big crybaby. What are you gonna do? But they were the kids were just so sweet. They were just so loving and so grateful, so glad that we were there. And
they just wanted to hang out with us. They just wanted to spend time with us. They wanted to talk with us, and the whole time we were serving them food. Oh, I forgot we had taken a cake and after lunch we cut the cake and served them cake and stuff, and just picking at them and teasing them and playing with them, and not all of it was even required translation. Some of it was just looks and pokes and bumping them and stuff, things like that, and laughing. And so it was so sweet. It was such a wonderful time. At the end of that, we were able to give them the gifts, which it worked out so perfectly. The number of kids that we had, wow. So we split all the gifts between evenly, and so with the string bags, we had perfect amount of string bags for this group of kids, and so they picked their colors, and they came up, and I was able to give them like a handful of dum-dums, gave them some of the toothbrushes and toothpaste. They were able to pick either a coloring book or a toy. Chris gave them soccer trading cards, and then we had the jump ropes and the dozen soccer balls there for the facility for the kids. And so while we're doing all of that, some of the teachers were blowing up one of the soccer balls, getting those ready to go play. And so it was really cool. Every kid was able to have these things, and they were so grateful for everything. And then it came time to play soccer. And the weather was great, sunny. I don't know, it was probably about 80, if I had to guess. Very comfortable. And but there's a reason I was trying to recruit, because I'm terrible at soccer. Okay, I've got no stamina. I'm bad. I'm really bad. And so we got out there and we had a really good time. I mean, some of the ladies that were out there came out, and I think they had on tennis shoes, but they were playing in dresses, and they were better than me. The little bitty girls and boys were better than me, and so but it was a lot of fun, and because I am smarter than my teammates from work, I did have a pretty stacked team. We beat them 8-4. It was very close for most of the game, to be fair, but and my teammates lied to me anyway. They were like, one of them was like, I don't know anything about soccer or any ball sports. I can't play. The other's like, I'm a baseball player, I'm not a soccer player, blah 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 blah. And both those guys turned out they were like really really good, and I couldn't stop them. The kids could, but I couldn't. So it was a lot of fun. And then of course lots of pictures all throughout, and afterwards where everybody was exhausted. One little girl was playing in a sweater. I was like, aren't you hot? She's like, no, I'm good. So, but yeah, it was so much fun, and just rallied them around, and we did some little fun chants, and lots and lots of hugs. Goodness gracious, there were so many hugs. Wow. So after that and a few more pictures, we headed out, and so we probably played soccer about an hour and a half. It was really good. It was really, really good, and it was such a blessing. I don't know who was blessed more, the kids or me. And it was good stuff. It was good stuff. And you know what? You were a part of that. So thank you. Thank you from them.
Hey everybody, it's me, and I am coming to you from our office in Tegucigalpa. It is Thursday, and if you hear background noise, it's because we're having a birthday celebration for one of the staff right now, so there's a lot of activity going on. But I wanted to record a brief video while things are still fresh and a bit raw, to talk a little bit about yesterday and our adventures. There was also some very emotional moments yesterday that just kind of wrecked all of us, really. So we arrived, we went to the coast. It was very hot, Houston hot, and very humid. And even though it was, considered a mild day, it was just 96 degrees, and but even that without air conditioning is pretty warm. And we were greeted, it's the program facility is down a dirt road in this instance, and you go past these very humble homes, and to get there, and the facility is a very humble facility. They're doing great work and the very absolute best that they can with what they have to work with, and they're trying hard to expand and grow, build more classrooms and things as they have the funds to do so. But we pulled up and we were greeted by a bunch of little kids that were super excited to see us, and the staff, and they had a bunch of balloons that they had blown up and decorations that they had made, and it was so wonderful. The kids performed 2 songs and danced. We hit the pinata.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10.
And that was a bunch of fun, and we gave them the goodie bags, like the birthday bags, like the day before, and the goodies, the gifts that we brought. And it was amazing because we, the day before, had a couple of extras of the string bags, and we needed them, so we had wound up with the exact amount we needed. It was perfect. Also with the toothbrushes and toothpaste, perfect amount. We did have extra dum-dums that we were able to leave with them, and other things that we were able to leave with them, extra coloring books and things like that. And of course we gave them the jump ropes and the soccer balls and stuff. And it was just too hot to play soccer. There was concerns that if we did, it was just the heat of the day, and they didn't want the kids to get sick, and me too for that matter. So we did not do that, but then we had the cake and just took advantage of the opportunity to engage with the kids and play with them in the middle of that, and things like just sat down right in the middle of a group of them and got so many giggles and stuff. Was eating the cake and missing my mouth and making a mess, and then Chris came over to try to feed me and help me eat my cake, and then he missed my mouth, and so lots of giggles and lots of fun. And then I did this. Told our translator to we were going to go on the tour of the facility with the staff, and I told our translators, tell all the kids that I'm in trouble, and then I have to go to the principal's office, and then Chris is going to drag me out of here. And so I had a very sad face, and she's like, no, the kids are going to freak out. I'm like, yeah, I know, good. And the plan was, after you dragged me out, I was going to wait a few seconds, let them freak out for a second, and then I was going to jump back in and scare them. But what happened was, so she tells them, and Chris, he's dragging me out, and I'm being all sad and acting like, I'm in trouble and everything. And I don't know what happened back in the room. As soon as I'm out of the room, just like 2 seconds had gone by, I'm getting ready to go back in, and I hear a bunch of screaming, and the kids all like formed an army and came and rescued me and dragged me back into the room. So it was so great. It was so much fun, and just loved it. And then we got to see the facilities, and very humble facilities. They're cooking the kids' meals over wood stove that's the exhaust is broken, and it's just very humble. They're just working so hard to care for these children, and doing such a great job. And so I think I mentioned this, but my team had decided as a team to sponsor a child. And when we got there, we spotted the little girl that we were planning to sponsor, but we can't tell her this because what if something goes wrong with the technology or whatever. Didn't want to get her excited and then have something happen for whatever it could be that would keep it from happening. So instead, what happened was they were showing us the process, how they process the children, and I was interested in their technology, what they have available, the internet connection that they have available. This facility does not have a computer lab or anything, but there's hope that as they can continue to build out the facilities, that they'll be able to have one eventually and stuff. And they have electricity, not air conditioning, but they take fans, like room fans, and they suspend them from the ceiling and create ceiling fans, which helps a lot. But they're, for a computer lab, they've got to have something that's more climate controlled. And so they've got a lot of plans for the future, and you can see they are working on them as they have the funds. But we got to see how they process the children, and hear from the pastor and the director of the program how when a lady is discovered in the community to be present there, they reach out to her and try to engage her from the church, and if they're able to engage her, and she's wants to talk to them, and they're can kind of start the process of helping her and her family. Then they find out if she's got children, and then if so, then they can start the process of interviewing and engaging at that level to see if they can get the children enrolled into the program. And so as we're going through that, we learn a little bit more about the little girl that we're wanting to sponsor. And I mean, we'd seen the picture of her from the website that was provided, and she's like 10 times cuter in person. So much personality. She's got a little sister that's just under a year old, And so we were just super excited, learned about, her dad is a construction helper when he can find work, but it's so remote that work's not available very often. And he, when he tries, he goes to look for, like day laborer kind of jobs and things like that to provide the best he can. But there are times when the only meal the little girl might get is at the program. And so we kind of finalize our decision, and it's like, yes, this is the little girl that we want to sponsor. Well, we got to go visit her home, and we talked about the possibility, but honestly, I was not prepared for this. We walk across the street from the program facility and to this kind of block of extremely humble homes, and Carlos and I are at the back of the group, and because we're talking and I'm taking a few pictures here and there, and we go around this corner and look up, and ahead of us everybody's stopping at this structure, and it's her house. It wasn't even. It was just, let's just say it was the humblest of the humble homes. You'll see, and canvas walls with wooden beams supporting a tin roof on a busted concrete kind of slab. It would look like, and wasn't much there. They have electricity. They have a refrigerator. We were blessed. Josue had gone the night before and bought a bunch of groceries, so we were blessed to be able to bring those as a gift to the family. Groceries for probably a good week that he had bought, things that like beans and rice and things that don't need refrigeration. And excuse me. So we were invited into the home and talked to Mom, and got to know her a little bit, asked a couple of questions, just trying to be friendly. It was really quite awkward. Like I said, I was not prepared, and trying not to let my emotions get the best of me. And so we noticed that the little girl started kind of going into a shell, so to speak, like clinging to Mom a little bit more than she had when we were playing and stuff. And so I was kind of trying, I figure she's got these like 5 massive guys in her home, the roof, you kind of have to hunch over because the short, and so we probably felt even bigger than we already did to her. So I was thinking maybe she's just a little intimidated, and so I started playing with the baby a little bit, and pinching her cheeks and little things like that. And the baby was her little sister was being super sweet. And so then they wanted to take some pictures of us with Mom and the two girls. And so was goofing off during the picture time and acting like I was going to pick her nose and stuff like that. I got her to kind of open up a little bit. And then we got to pray for Mom and lay hands on her and pray for their family. And so it was a really, really powerful moment. And then, after the visit, several minutes there, we headed out and started walking back across the street. And we get back over to the program facility, and they had gifts for us. And it was like this shirt. This is actually one of the program facility shirts, and just this gift bags with things in it showing their appreciation of us. It's like, we're here to bless you, and I just couldn't believe it. It was just, it was all I could do not to just completely lose it. And then we found out, this was crazy. We find out that the pastor had sorted it out and taken care of it. But as we're leaving, we found out, what was really going on with the little girl, and she was afraid we were there to take her mom away. It turned out she didn't understand what was going on, and I guess was just fearful that maybe her mom was in trouble or something, and that we were going to take her. And fortunately, that got sorted. And but as soon as we got back on the road, as soon as I got a decent internet connection on my phone, we had signed up for the sponsorship. So we're all super excited and talking about how we're going to, take turns writing the letters, and we're going to send her in our first letter the picture that we took of us with her, along with the other people on our team that couldn't be there. Pictures of them explaining, what was really going on. That we just wanted to meet her, and that we're her new sponsors. We found out that she had been dumped before, which is something that happens. People, whether they don't realize the commitment they're signing up for, or, financial circumstances change, whatever. But she'd been gone through, from best we could tell, possibly 3 or more sponsors previously that had picked her up very, very quickly. Had stopped sponsoring and her going back in the program. So we really wanted to make sure that, look, this is it. She's finally got the sponsor that she's going to have for the rest of her life in the program until she grows up and graduates. And it's going to be us, no matter what happens with work or if people move on or whatever. We're going to take care of that. So it was just a very powerful day, very, very powerful and emotionally draining day. By the time we got back, it was literally just, after 12 hours plus being out and on the road, it was all any of us could do to take a shower and crash. Thank you so much, and it's been such a blessing, and I will talk to you soon and have more to come very soon. Thanks. Bye.
Well, thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I want to give a huge, huge shout out to our Honduras office staff. We tried really hard not to be a burden and to just not be disruptive in their day, but wow, they just went way above and beyond, making us feel welcome, making us feel at home, inviting us in. And it did. It felt like, we were going to work at the office, the same office that we always go to. Just the friendliness and the familiarity and the love that they shared with us was such a major blessing. They provided all the coordination, even our hotel, but for all the trips out that we went to visit the kids, even with a translator, it was just amazing. Even gave me the opportunity to share a short devotional with some other visitors that were in from out of the country, and I'll have that video, you can check that out, posted next. Hopefully that'll bless you as well. But I wanted to just take a moment and say, look, while I work for Compassion International, I've been a child sponsor along with my wife, Vicki, for going on 25 years now. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm a part of this ministry. And so I'd like to challenge you, before you go look at the devotional video or any of the rest of our content, to visit the Compassion website at compassion.com and to prayerfully consider sponsoring a child. These kids need you. They need your love. And something pretty cool happens when you sponsor a child. You'll discover that they minister to you just as much as you minister to them. And even if child letter writing and that kind of connection just isn't your thing, or maybe you're somebody who says, I'd like to sponsor 50 children, but I can't write that many letters. Check out the website. There's a lot of ways that you can partner with Compassion to minister to these children. You could even call into our call center, and they can definitely connect you with the right people to help you find your place in this organization. It is truly a blessing, not only to those we serve, but to those of us who are partners and staff, and we're the real deal. Check us out. Do your own research. Don't take my word for it. And just, even as a sponsor, I can tell you just so many ways that you can be a blessing to these kids, but I don't want to misrepresent, anything, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to share or allowed to share. So check out the website, give us a call, and become a part of this. This is such an amazing opportunity to release children from poverty in Jesus' name. Have a blessed day. More to come, and we'll see you soon.